So you're new or you're returning to the hobby after a long time off. You watched episode 1 of Cards 101. You're familiar with the types of cards and you're ready to go to your local card shop. So what do? You walk in and you're greeted by a bunch of cases and bunch of boxes on the wall, and holy Moses, what are all these boxes? Why are they so expensive? How the heck do I pick one? On episode 2 of Sports Card 101, we're talking about types of boxes, singles, anything you're gonna find in a store. So thanks for joining me on today's episode of Sports Cards 101. Let's get it going. Hey guys, it's Mr. Hollywood and welcome back to another episode of Cards 101 presented by Hollywood Rips. And today we are going over different types of boxes, packs, what you're gonna see in a card shop. You watched our previous video on if you're new to the hobby, if you're coming back to the hobby, what the cards look like now compared to, say, back in the 80s, if you were a previous collector or if you didn't collect at all. We talked about patch cards, different game used patch cards. We talked about autograph cards. We talked about RPAs versus patch cards. Talked about parallels, serial numbered parallels, as well as, I believe we also talked about superfractors, one-of-one stuff like that. So you went into a card shop and you're like, yeah, I got this. No worries at all. Well, you walked into that card shop and there was like a bajillion boxes on the wall and you were like, oh. Mr. H, what do I do? What product is right for me? How does this work? Well, that's what today's episode is all about. And let's get started with, where do you get cards? Well, primarily in 3 places. Number 1, your local card shop. It's number 1, local card shop, or known in the hobby as an LCS, okay? Number 2 is online. Most people probably buy them online at this point. I'm gonna do an entire other episode about online card buying, so I'm not gonna touch on it today. The other 2 that we have are trade shows. Okay, you go to a sports card trading show or a TCG trading card game, that's like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Lorcana, stuff like that. You can go to one of these shows to buy cards or trade cards. The other one is in person. But we're gonna focus today on local card shop, LCS, and what you're seeing when you walk in the door. What are the 3 things you see when you walk into an LCS, aside from the, oh my God, that's the price of these things these days? So number 1, the first thing you're gonna see is you're gonna see a lot of showcases, okay? A lot of glass showcases with singles inside, singles that look something like this, okay? Now, you're gonna have graded singles and you're gonna have raw singles. A card that is not graded, that is in a top loader like this is called a raw card, okay? So you have raw cards, you have graded cards. These 2 are both graded. They are graded by different companies. This one's graded by a company called PSA. This is graded by a company called Beckett, okay? So this is number 1 in a card shop. You're gonna see singles. We call these singles. Number 2, you are going to see open boxes with packs in them, or loose packs. What do we mean by that? We mean loose packs just like this, okay? Sealed, just packs of cards waiting to be opened. You can buy these straight from the boxes as well without buying the whole box. So no, you don't have to spend that $300 to buy the entire box. You can buy 1 pack for $7, $5, depending on what you're buying, okay? Some packs are $100 or more. So what's the last thing you see when you walk into an LCS store? The last thing you see is boxes lining the walls, right? So I'm gonna get these out of the way for you. Hopefully those are out of the picture. But there are 3 basic types of boxes that you need to know, okay? Well, let's call it two types of formats you need to know. Number 1 is the difference between retail and hobby, okay? Retail boxes and hobby boxes are going to have big differences in their price tag, as well as big differences on what you're guaranteed to get in the boxes, okay? So let's start with retail, okay? Let's pull some retail. Here is what's known as a blaster box, okay? A blaster box, typically this rectangular shape, just like this. These are going to be, here's another blaster box, okay? Two different products. Whoops, went running away from me. These are going to, for the most part, be your entry level, let's say, for sports cards. This and probably like hanger boxes, okay? A hanger box is something like this. You can see it goes on a hanger just like that. Hanger boxes typically are only gonna have one pack in them, typically. It's gonna be kind of a see-through plastic wrap. Blaster boxes, like these, are gonna have anywhere from a couple packs to maybe six, 8 packs in them. You can see here, every product's a little different. This has 24 cards per box, and here, this one is 12 cards per pack, 7 packs, so still upwards of 60 cards in this box, so a lot more coming in here. What's your general price tag, and what are you hoping to pull, or why would you wanna buy this? You wanna buy this if you're cost conscious, okay? Most baseball blasters, like this one here, probably around $25 to $30 now, okay? Most Panini basketball blasters, like you see in my right hand here, these are closer to $50, all right? Why the difference in price? Well, depends who the athletes in the product are, as well as what you're able to pull out of it. Retail blasters, just like this, you are going to pay the least amount of money up front to get the box, but you're also gonna have the least amount of probability that you're gonna pull a card out of here that is worth a significant amount of money. Now, if you care about the money or not, that's kind of up to you, that's on you. But retail is going to be your cost-conscious version. Now, this is where it starts to get tricky. There are multiple layers of retail. It is not just blaster boxes and hanger boxes, okay? There are also what we call mega boxes. All right, so I'm gonna pull in a mega box now. Here is a mega box, okay? This is mega, this is blaster. They are both retail products. What is a mega box? A mega box is basically a blaster box on steroids, all right? You're gonna get a lot more cards inside of a mega box. So for example, in here, we get 10 cards per pack, 6 packs per box, okay? 60 cards inside of a mega box for 23-24 Panini Prizm basketball versus 24 cards in this. What's the cost difference? 50 bucks for this, probably you're looking at somewhere between $80 to $90 for one of these. Now, every product has specific versions of cards that are specific to that type of box, okay? So blaster boxes might have a specific card that you can only pull out of blaster boxes. Mega boxes might only have a specific type of card you can only pull out of mega boxes. For example, the red ice prism, don't get too concerned with the terminology, but the red ice prism you can only get out of a mega box in this product, right? You cannot pull it out of here, right? Whereas this product, you can only pull, I believe it's the, if you want to get these holiday variations, you can only pull them out of blaster boxes, okay? So just to recap, retail is blasters as well as megas as well as hangers, okay? That's what we call retail. It's the cheapest end. For the most part, everything's gonna be under 100 bucks, for the most part. Now, we're gonna get into the other box type, second box type, which you have to know about. It's called the hobby box. Now, what is a hobby box? A hobby box is a version of a product where you are guaranteed a certain amount of hits, and that's why they're more expensive, okay? You also get more cards in them. So we took a look at this blaster box. I flip it over because we got a rip in here. We take a look at this blaster box, okay? So the same product has what's called a hobby box. This right here is a hobby box. Now, what can you see that's obvious on the front? You can see right here, there's a little H here, hobby edition, one autograph or relic card in every hobby box, okay? So you are guaranteed, if you buy this box, you are guaranteed, this box costs like $95, by the way, versus $25 for this. You are guaranteed to pull what we call a hit out of a hobby box, okay? That's why this costs $95 and this costs $25. You're not guaranteed to pull any hits out of this, okay? But you are guaranteed to pull either an autograph or a relic card, which we talked about in our previous video, so if you haven't watched and you don't know what a relic card is, go watch that one first. That is the difference, okay? Now, if we look at how many cards are in here, 20 packs, 12 cards per pack, okay? That's a lot of cards. Way more than the what? 72 cards you get out of this. You get hundreds out of here. This right here, same product again, okay? This is called a jumbo hobby box. Not every product has jumbos. Jumbo hobby, normal hobby, blaster. Baseball products tend to have, the flagship ones tend to have a jumbo box. What do you get in a jumbo box compared to a hobby box? You get 3 guaranteed hits, okay? You get 1 autograph guaranteed and 2 relic cards per box, okay? So you're guaranteed 3 hits in this, 1 hit in this, none in this. $25, $95, $195, okay? Look at that, there's a little fly on that. Get out of here. So that's what you're absolutely guaranteed, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start with that. Someone's ringing my doorbell, but I really don't care, all right? So what are we moving on to next? We'll show you some other examples just of other products, okay? So we talked about Blaster Retail here and Mega. These are retail products. The big boy version of this is this, all right? This is a hobby box. 2 autographs guaranteed, which is why it's more expensive, okay? These boxes running about $1,000 because everyone's trying to pull Victor Wembanyama rookie cards, all right? Now, what else do we have to cover? There are professional cards, okay? We also have college cards, okay? So something like this, Panini Prism Draft Picks, all right? What is this? This is all players in their college uniforms, okay? This is all in their college uniforms. The difference between this and say this, obviously, professional uniforms. You can see Justin Herbert in his Chargers uniform here. You can see Trevor Lawrence in his Clemson uniform here, okay? College cards are cheaper than professional cards. Why? Because they're less desirable, all right? Everyone wants Trevor Lawrence in his rookie Jacksonville Jaguars jersey, not in his Clemson jersey, okay? The price of the product reflects that, all right? So don't get suckered into a college product if you really don't care about college, because let's be honest, they're just not worth as much as a professional product, okay? So that's the difference between college and professional. What is the other thing we have to go over? Well, we have to go over licensed versus non-licensed, okay? And what do I mean by that? So the 2 main card manufacturing companies right now are called Topps and Panini, excuse me. Topps and Panini. Panini currently owns the rights to the NBA and the NFL, most notably. Topps currently owns the rights to the MLB, currently, among other leagues. There's a bunch of other leagues we could talk about. We're just gonna focus on the big 3, okay? So what does that mean? That means when you have a Panini box, okay? You can see Panini Prism there. So here's Panini, let's find, oh, perfect, okay. You've seen all these boxes already, perfect. I'm actually gonna use, I'll use this box, it's fine. I'm actually gonna use a different box. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, so you can see Topps owns the MLB license. What does that mean? That means they can put, you see how Braves is on Ronald Acuna Jr.'s jersey there? They can print Atlanta Braves. They own the license to be able to print the team names and logos, okay? So you can have Braves on the jersey there, okay? That's Topps. They have the license for baseball. Panini has the license for football as well as basketball. So what does that mean? You see the Chargers logo there. You see the Bengals logo here. You see the Cardinals logo and name here, okay? On basketball products, right? You see Detroit there on Asor Thompson's jersey. They have the right to use those, okay? That makes those sets more lucrative, more valuable, more sought after when they have the license. When they don't have the license, because these companies do make cards without the license, what does it look like? Well, it looks like this, okay? Ignore the fact that this is Wander Franco, one of the most unfortunate sports stories of the past couple years. What a waste of talent. You can see on here, Donruss as a company is a type of card that is made by Panini. Panini, does Panini own the license to baseball, to the MLB? No, they do not. They only own football and basketball for now, right? So, what does that mean? That means they cannot use team names, licenses, or logos, which means Wander Franco here, what do you notice about the helmet? It's blank. What do you notice about the jersey? Blank. Everything, blank, okay? There are no cards. Every card that comes out of here, I don't know if you can see that, it's real small. Every card that comes out of here is not gonna have a team name or logos on it. That's a really big deal because depending on what you're trying to get, for example, if you have a card like this, it ain't gonna say Giants, that SF logo not gonna be there, the San Francisco logo not gonna be there. It'll just have the name of the player, maybe the position, and then it'll say the city that they play in, but that's about it, okay? That's about it. That's licensed versus non-licensed. If you're buying non-licensed cards because they're cheaper, that is the reason, okay? So you wanna make sure that what you're buying, for the most part, is licensed, unless you really don't care about licensed versus non-licensed. Panini, in my opinion, does make cooler looking cards than Topps. Topps is just more traditional. So if you're going for just like how cool the card looks and you don't really care about resale value, then I think it doesn't really matter to you licensed versus non-licensed. It is important to note, however, that Fanatics, big company Fanatics, they own Topps. They also are acquiring the NBA and the NFL licenses next year and the following year. So what does that mean? That means that Fanatics will own the license to all the major sports: football, basketball, baseball. It'll make things way easier for us because only Fanatics and Topps, essentially Topps, Bowman, Topps products will be licensed products. It'll make our lives way easier, okay? So basically, it's coming down to a couple things, right? Your budget, number one, and guaranteed hits, number two, okay? If your budget's 20 bucks, you're gonna end up with retail, okay? You're gonna get a blaster box. Well, maybe not this blaster box, but you're gonna get a blaster box, okay? If your budget's, say, 70 to 80 bucks, then you're probably gonna end up with a mega box, all right? If your budget's 100 bucks plus, then you're jumping into the hobby, okay? If you want a licensed hobby box of a big product like Panini Prism basketball or football, you're gonna be coughing up close to $1,000 most likely, okay? Other products aren't necessarily as expensive. What else do we need to talk about? All these different types of products have a different number of cards in them. Just because you're paying more money doesn't mean you're gonna get more cards, okay? What do I mean by that? This box, for example, this jumbo hobby box is, I believe it's 20 cards per pack. No, it's 40 cards per pack. This box has 400 cards in it, okay? 400. But you're guaranteed not three autographs, you're guaranteed 3 hits and 1 autograph is guaranteed of those 3 hits. That didn't come out right. You're guaranteed 3 hits, one of which is guaranteed to be an autograph, okay? This is like 200 bucks, all right? Now, a box like this, okay? You're gonna pay about the same amount of money for these 2 boxes, but what's the difference? This has 400 cards in it, and this has one card. So you're gonna open it up, okay? And boom, this is not from this product, and boom, you have 1 encased autograph card, okay? These products are super high risk, super high reward, okay? Super high risk, super high reward, all right? So You can really get any type of product. It depends. Do you want 400 base cards to have to figure out how I'm gonna sort that? Or do you want just one card? Or do you want, say, like 7 cards, okay? Do you want 7 cards? They make hobby boxes that only have 7 cards that guarantee 2 autographs or 3 autographs. Do you want a box that has 20 cards that guarantees 1 autograph? You know, that's like this one, 20 cards, 1 autograph, all right? So it goes on and on and on. So a lot of people ask me, Mr. H, what's the cheapest, and I don't know if this is just for fun or they're actually concerned about this, but they ask me, what's the absolute cheapest card or cards or box that I can buy, and what's the most expensive? Well, to answer that, the cheapest is probably gonna be the oldest, is probably gonna be one of your more modern but older sets where there are no good rookies in it, all right? So maybe you pay like $5 to $10 for an old hanger box of a pretty crappy year. Something like this, but this is obviously 2021 was a decent year. Maybe in a cruddy baseball year for a product like this, you might pay like $7, $7 to $10 for a box. If you want to go cheaper, then maybe you can buy a pack for $5 or less if it's again a crappy year. Now people also ask me, what's the most expensive? How much can I spend? Well, you can spend a lot when it comes to boxes. One of the big daddies, for example, is going to be this, all right? This is a box of 21-22 flawless, first off the line basketball. Now, you're probably sitting there, if you've watched me to this point, then congrats, because let's be honest, we're 20 minutes in and you really had no idea what the card world is like, but I'm glad you're here and learning, okay? How much does this box cost? Well, this costs about $15,000 to $20,000. Yeah, you heard me right there. This is like a $15,000 to $20,000 box, depending on what year you have. This is first off the line, so you're guaranteed an extra hit in it that is exclusive to a first off the line box, okay? These boxes normally would cost maybe like $10,000, maybe like $10,000 to $15,000. This one, I saw this going for $20,000 at one point. These briefcases are just insane. So you see kind of the product would sit in here normally. You'd get an inner box here. You get a few cards in here that are encased, autographed as well. So there's a lot of different types of boxes and or products that you can buy in this world. If I had to recommend one thing to you though, you might be really tempted to just rip a ton of boxes like these, all right? You might just wanna rip a ton because you haven't seen cards for a long time, or you're new to the hobby, or you've been gone for a long time. You just wanna rip, because let's be honest, ripping packs just like this, it's a lot of fun, all right? Let's see if we can pull a Wembanyama. Bilal Coulibaly, Russell Westbrook. This is a college product, by the way. Matas Buzelis. We have guys, look at that. Victor Wembanyama silver. That would happen. We never pull Wembanyama, I feel like. And the one time it's not actually a card review, we pull a silver Wemby. It's actually a big card, guys. It's actually a big card. Now you see though how there's nothing on the jersey. It's because Panini doesn't own the license for Victor Wembanyama's team that he was playing for before the NBA, so they can't print it on there, so it's blank. So this is what a non-licensed card would look like, okay? Massive hit, actually, so that's, okay, that was really unexpected, but really awesome. Kind of lost my train of thought now that was so cool. Oh yeah. You don't want to go ripping. You're not going to get this lucky, okay? I know you just saw me get really lucky. That's not going to happen to you, okay? Just assume that that's not going to happen to you, all right? What do I suggest? I suggest open boxes within reason, okay? If you get a big hit, be happy about it, but that doesn't mean go back to the store and buy 50 more of these, okay? Don't do it. You're gonna lose your money 85 to 90% of the time, I guarantee it, okay? Opening packs, opening boxes, the best way to explain it, it's gambling, okay? You are gambling by opening packs and boxes. Flat and simple, and you will lose 80 to 85% of the time. At least in Vegas, you go and play blackjack, you'll probably lose like 55% of the time. Or like, for me, I still lose like 100% of the time. But at least you got a shot. Oh, ripping sports cards, let's be honest, you got no shot, all right? Maybe you get super lucky and hit the lottery and hit a one-of-one rookie autograph. Awesome, great for you, but maybe it cost you $1,000 to get into the box and you had a 0.00001% chance of hitting that card. Do you think that's a smart financial decision if you're opening tens and tens and tens and tens of boxes? Say you spend $10,000 trying to pull the one-of-one Victor Wembanyama, right? And you don't get it. What happens? Well, you just threw $10,000 down the drain. What's the other thing you can do? Say you want the one-of-one Victor Wembanyama. The other thing you can do is, this is not the one-of-one Victor Wembanyama. If you see the one-of-one Victor Wembanyama pop up for sale in a card show, card shop, card show online, just like this, right? Let's say hypothetically you had $500,000, all right? And you wanted to buy the one-of-one, don't go ripping the product from the beginning, right? If you're willing to spend $500,000 for that card, for that $500,000 card, then just buy the single, okay? If you want this Corbin Carroll Spotlights single, right? You could rip a bunch of 2023 Bowman to try and get it, or you could log on to eBay and buy this off my store for 40 bucks, cheaper than an entire box would cost you, and you're not even guaranteed in the box to pull it. So in my opinion, packs versus singles, look, take it with a grain of salt because I rip a lot of boxes for you guys as reviews, but really it's more for you guys. I personally do not rip a whole lot of boxes for my personal enjoyment, okay? Sure, it's fun with friends every now and then. You get a group of friends together, maybe split a box, open it together, everything's great, okay? The majority of what I do is buying singles, okay? I target the cards that I like. I know what I like. I buy the single. Why? Because there's no chancing it. I know exactly what I'm gonna get. I know what the price is. So that is kind of my recommendation to you on that. So that's kind of a wrap in terms of what you're gonna see when you walk into a store and the different types of boxes that are available and the high end and the low end. You know, the super high-end products are you know, $10,000 to $20,000. I think there's a product called Transcendent, which is actually closer to $30,000. So really the sky's the limit on sealed boxes. Older sealed boxes of years that had really special rookies, like LeBron's rookie year, Steph Curry's rookie year, those boxes are crazy expensive, and they're more expensive the longer they stay sealed, okay? One of those boxes might be $20,000. $25,000. Box of first edition Pokemon cards is like $250,000, okay? It's insane. Don't open them, all right? Just don't, because you're losing your value on them. You don't know what's in them. Don't be tempted by the one-of-one chase or the card you don't have. If it's reasonably within your budget, I would just buy that card. Don't go chasing it unless you are 100% ready to lose 100% of your money and you don't give a SHIT that you're losing that money, okay? So that's our basic rundown of the different types of boxes that you're gonna find in a hobby shop. We're gonna talk about the whole online experience. We're gonna talk about card grading, all in future episodes of Sports Cards 101. But thanks for joining me today for the episode that we just went through today. If you like today's video, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below. Remember, subscribing really helps us in getting our content out to you guys. It really, I can't stress it enough, makes a big difference when you guys subscribe. It really helps, we appreciate it. So from me to you, We'll see you next time for Sports Cards 101. Don't forget to watch our podcast and reviews as well. So until next time, Mr. Hollywood, out.